Hey, welcome everybody to day 2 of Love Yourself to Health. Today we are talking about your why. Check out the chat. It's already blowing up with why people join this challenge and what they want to accomplish. But I want to give you some framework for what we're talking about with your why. You know, a lot of times I ask people, what do you want to accomplish? And the what, I have a good friend that he says, hey, put up your dukes. Right? And your dukes, when you're fighting for what you want, are your what and your why. You got to know both of them, right? What is it that you want to create and why do you want to create it? I always think of the why as this pervasive emotional state that we want to be in. When I started this journey 13 years ago, I hadn't had a lot of peace in my life, and I wanted to create peace. That was my why. That is still my why. And so I asked myself what I wanted to create, why I wanted to create it. And then I actually go back to my what. And I'm like, does the what that I originally said, is that going to create peace in my life? Is that going to create joy, happiness, all these things we're seeing in the chat thread? Our what and our why. We talk about a principle called structural tension. That doesn't sound super fun, does it? People don't like tension. Creates anxiety and stress, right? We want to provide good stress in our lives. It's called eustress versus distress. Did you know that 90%, several studies reflect these very similar numbers, 90% of people make changes in their life because of dissatisfaction. Okay, dissatisfaction changes are not sustainable long term. Why? Because this happens. We're right here. I've got my trusty TheraBand. I always have this on my desk. We're right here. This is called current reality. Then we have this goal or this desired outcome that's way up here. And the difference between where we are and where we want to go is called structural tension. Right? If this is based on, if our want and our, what we want and why we want it is based on dissatisfaction alone, let's say I want to lose 50 pounds. And my what and my why are based on dissatisfaction. Once I draw closer to this number, is there any tension left? Right? Maybe I lost 20 pounds. I did this 5-6 times, losing 20 pounds when I wanted to lose 50. I did it over and over and over. I lost like 100, 120 pounds, but it was the same 20 over and over and over, right? So our why is so important. What is the bigger reason? What's the deeper reason that we want what we want, right? And that's called vision. There's this verse, this ancient verse that says, where there is no vision, the people perish. But he that keepeth the law, happy is he. Right? The law, there are laws between here and here that govern being successful in achieving what and why we want it. Helen Keller said it this way: the only thing worse than being blind is having sight with no vision. Dr. A says it this way: focus on what you want, not on what you don't want, right? Not just on the dissatisfaction. That is a good motivator to start, but it only takes you so far. So I recently listened to an interview with Kobe Bryant, the late Kobe Bryant, and he said that at the end of every single NBA season that he would evaluate his season and he would decide where, and this was not just by himself, but with his team. And he said, I decided what I needed to work on, where I needed to get stronger physically, where I needed to get stronger mentally. And then I wrote out a contract and I signed a contract with myself. And over the months before the next season started, he said, I was just like every other human. I had these thoughts, these limiting beliefs, these sabotaging thoughts that said, oh, hey, Kobe, like maybe we can just pull back on this. Maybe we can switch up this. And it was the switch that his mind wanted to do was to make it easier, to make the process easier. And he said, nope, I never renegotiated with myself. I signed that contract. Are you willing to sign that contract with yourself to move along this journey? I've been on a lot of hikes in my life. I've been on a lot of road trips in my life. I can't recall a time in my life where I met a friend at a trailhead or got in a car with my family and turned on the GPS and we started to shame ourselves for where we were. Right? We didn't say, oh my gosh, we're losers because we're pulling out of our garage right now. No, we just were where we were. Of course we wanted to speed up sometimes. We'd go to Disneyland and we left at the wrong time of day. So we'd hit the South Vegas traffic going to Southern California. And we're like, oh man, we should have left an hour earlier. We would have missed this, right? We all have those thoughts, but we didn't shame ourselves for where we were. We just are where we are. This last year, my family took a trip to Southern Utah. Normally takes about 3 hours. It took us 7. It took us 3 hours to go 12 miles because there was a massive snowstorm. Guess what? We played Name That Tune for like 2 hours with our kids. It was hilarious. We were talking about all the things like, oh my, there's a blizzard outside. We really need to go to the bathroom. How are we going to make this work? Right? We're concocting plans, laughing hysterically about how we're going to make an outhouse with blankets and multiple people holding up blankets and stuff on the side of the road, right? It was just fun. It was funny. So, but we still knew where we were going. We knew why we were going there. So my encouragement this morning is on your daily tracker, do a few minutes of work on this today. What do you want to create with your health and why? What feelings and goodness will your creation bring into your life? And remember to focus on what you want, not on what you don't want. I will tell you this from personal experience, I've learned this. My path has been made more simple, not easy, but more simple by following people who have been on that path before. I love documentaries about crazy people who like to climb mountains like Mount Everest. You know what? You can take your own path. Your likelihood of survival is pretty low. Most of the people who go up these hike 9,000 meter mountains, they take paths that have been blazed before them. They clip into the ropes that already exist. They use the ladders that already exist. So surround yourself with people who have already been on the path. Always know where you're at and always know where you're going. And throughout the journey, stop and look around and look how far you've come. So we appreciate you being with us this morning. Do some of this work today on what you want, why you want it. Share it below this live in the Facebook group. Share it with the coach that invited you. Share it with the other members and stuff. And we are on this journey right here with you. So love you guys. Have a good day.